What is a Weird Wild West story? What is a Asa Merritt Weird Wild West story? And can I finish one today? These are the questions of this vlog. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm so glad you're here. My name's Asa Merritt. I wrote 6 sermons, an Audible series starring Stephanie Hsu. This is my YouTube channel, and I am learning how to write fiction, starting with short fiction. This is the jam. Subscribe if you like the vibe. Today, the goal is to finish this short story. It's 2,000 to 4,000 words. It's a Weird Wild West short story. I took a class from Casey Griffith, the Weird Wild West writer, introducing this genre. I'm going to share what I learned there. I have read 1.5 collections of Weird Wild West short stories. I'm going to share about those as well as how they relate to my own aesthetic. This is a writing vlog. We're going to try to get to the end. This is accountability. This is a challenge. It is 9:10 in the morning in the great city of Mexico City, and let's see what we can make happen. I'm going to start by revisiting the current draft, and we'll just see where this takes us. I just read the story. It's in a good place. I think it's in a really good place because I think I actually have the spine. I have the orientation of the 2 characters. I'm going to talk a little bit more about those characters, but first I want to run through kind of a who, what, where, why, when, how of Weird Wild West fiction, just to give you a sense of the playground that I'm playing in, the slides, the seesaw, the specifics of this genre universe that I am finding really inspiring right now. The what is just a Wild West story with some kind of speculative element. So that could be a monster or a witch or a vampire, or it could take place in space, or there could be like tinkers or cyborgs. There's a really kind of like cyberpunk vein that introduces into this genre sometimes. Think Westworld. That's what Weird Wild West is. Where? Usually in the Southwest United States, California, Arizona, Texas, other times in space. Who? Think about your archetypes of the Weird Wild West, right? The gunslinger, the tinker, the sheriff, all these types are characters, again, in these Weird Wild West stories. We're using the basic DNA of Wild West, but making it weird. When? Late 1800s, and I guess going back to the what, yes, most literally, it's speculative fiction, Wild West stories, but more fundamentally, the DNA of this genre, which relates to the why, is closer to something like we're reinvestigating this intense, terrible, messed up history of the United States, founded on human chattel, all the ways in which the West was totally not okay. Retelling some of those stories, that's one opportunity that this genre has. It's a way of kind of engaging with those classic Weird Wild West themes: revenge, individualism, frontier mentality, both as a literal and psychic space afresh. And what I'm particularly excited about this genre as a writer is it really seems like all the bets are off. That's the quick hit. I am out of time because I am going live now for my every Friday live streams. We do this every single Friday. Check it out on the channel. I'm going to work on this story during the live streams, so stay tuned. Live stream complete. Gotta say, starting a YouTube channel has been really cool. What it's done is it's given me ways to stay accountable, which is so cool. I never thought that it would achieve that. I don't know why I joined initially, but what it's doing now is like, I tell y'all what I'm gonna do, and then it's like, come on, you gotta do it. And then doing it in community with other people, like those live streams, like the story clubs that I do on this channel. I do a sci-fi short story every week, horror short story every week. It's very cool. It's very cool. It's like giving me a context, a framework of like sort of like structure for my days and my life, my writing life. Anyway, that was a great stream. A couple solid hours of working. And now I'm headed for a little break. There is an old HBO show called Carnival, which I never saw, but I remember the marketing for, and it feels very Weird Wild West to me. I think it takes place in the Dust Bowl So not quite the right time frame, but what it does have, if I remember right, is like speculative elements in a kind of traveling caravan setting, which, I've got this snake show. So I'm gonna kind of like chill out a little bit, let my brain calm down from all that writing, get some lunch, and, watch that show, and then try to put in like at least one other kind of late afternoon session on the Weird Wild West story today. Just to share those two books I was talking about earlier. I know it's a little loud. Just to share those two books I was talking about earlier in terms of building out a pool, a well of inspiration for Weird Wild West fiction, if that's something that you want to pursue. I did work my way through these two collections of short stories. The first called The Good, the Bad, and the Uncanny. That one I read in its completion, and the other one, oh my gosh, Dead Man's Hand. I'll put it up on the screen. And what I found was, first of all, just the value of exposing yourself, deep diving, reading the kinds of things that you want to write, just kind of seeing the way people do it, seeing the opportunities of a genre, the particular opportunities of this genre, I think, is the true free-formness of it all, just the utter madcap, zany, playful, joyful, exuberant, experimental. All of these words describe this genre. You can kind of really go nuts, which gives you an incredibly liberating literary landscape to situate your imagination. When I read these stories, I read all different types of stories. I don't see like tropes or kind of like formulas. Maybe that's not. The rhythms of these stories really vary, and so it feels like a great genre to play. And as a new fiction writer, it's perfect. It's perfect for me. You can get inspiration from old newspapers, so it's like there's never any shortage of prompts if you're sort of sitting around without any ideas, places you can go to find these incredible archives. It's just a cool space, a cool genre, and I'm stoked to kind of like really see how far I go in it. I'm off for some lunch, ceviche, such good ceviche in this town. I always do ceviche on these. All right, everybody, there's a vlog happening. Come on. You go. Vlog time. In the frame. Icy, what's up, buddy? Carnival. Pretty cool show. Maybe I'll keep watching it. I think what I can take in terms of the Weird Wild West, what you can take, what we can take, is the seamlessness with which the show introduces magical elements, the banality of the magic in the world of this show, I think is instructive. The show doesn't point out the magic. The show doesn't focus the camera explicitly on it, makes it loud. It's subtle. It's there implicitly in the DNA of the universe. How do we do that in fiction? How do we do that in fiction? I think what it looks like is you introduce elements of the alternative universe of the weird Wild West in sentences where the primary point of that sentence, the primary object of intent, of focus, of concern, is not the supernatural thing, so that the supernatural thing or the weird thing becomes a supporting character in the sentence, in the part of the story. Let me just give you an example. This is the current first paragraph of this story. Eventually I'll have a mailing list. You should be on it. I could send you this fiction as it gets published. Stay tuned for that. Not everyone is cut out for the snake show. That's the working title. I can see you're cut from the right general cloth. That's why you're here. But think long before going down this path. You'll be bit regularly, at some point probably within an inch of your life. And you have to stomach the children. That's where the money is. Now, I never seen one die. I know what I'm doing, but I've seen him turn green or shake to high heaven. The bites itch too, bad. And if the kid is tough, they'll try and gnaw their own hand off like a hide behind in a trap. Like a hide behind in a trap. Hide behind. So it turns out hide behind, mythological folkloric creature, late 19th century, Pacific Northwest, kind of like a Bigfoot type thing, but smaller, that killed lumberjacks. We're introducing this almost as like an afterthought in that sentence. And if the kid is tough, they'll try and gnaw their own hand off like a hide behind in a trap. The point of the sentence is the kid. That's what that first paragraph is about, snakes biting kids. We've woven in a supernatural element. Am I showing the secret sauce? Is this too much? We're in this together. I'm gonna call it a night. I'm gonna head home and play Dredge, a video game that my friend turned me on to. I haven't tried it yet, but it seems cool. Till next time.